Hello and welcome to a bit of a grey drizzly day here in beautiful Nova Scotia. Welcome to June in beautiful Nova Scotia and welcome to my channel, The Optimistic Gardener. My name is Steve Farley. Well, as I said, it's a bit of a grey and drizzly day here today, but it's June, early June, and I wanted to show you something that has been dazzling me and lighting up my days for the last 2 or 3 weeks, but starting to go over. And if I left it a bit later on in the month for, you know, real sort of June things and maybe a bit better weather, you wouldn't get a chance to see it. And I really want you to, because it's been exciting me every single morning and every single day I walk out into the garden. Beautiful, lighting up my day even. And that's the phlox, the creeping phlox that is been flowering all over my garden for the last 2 or 3 weeks, of shades of pink and purples and hot pink and all sorts of pinks. So I thought I'd take the chance, even though, like I said, it's a bit of a grey day today, to show you around the garden, getting to see some of the early herbaceous perennials that are starting to spring up, and the phlox that's growing all over. And we'll have a look at the veg area as well. Lots of things growing now, lots of things going on. So why don't we have a get amongst it and have a look around now. So why don't we start at the flower end of the garden. And as you can see here on the steps, already we've got some beautiful phlox starting to go over a touch now, but it really has been beautiful all of May really. And we've got some chives here, always a nice flower just about to come in. And obviously the dominant colour at this time of year is always the pinks and the purples. So this is my new border that I put in last autumn stroke winter with Ethan. No dig, we just put some cardboard down and compost on top. And look at these, already these lupins are looking really lush and grown really strongly. Got some flower spikes just about to start there. And I put all sorts of different things that I can't even remember the name of already. At the back we've got Angelica and some Monarda there, some Cosmos there, sort of running through. Some sunflowers I put in at the back. So this is quite sparse at the moment, but this will all be filled out in the next couple of years. Asters at the back there, just in front of the Angelica. So I'm pleased with all the different bits and bobs that I've got in there. I've actually, on this side here, if we look at these tiny ones there, I've got, that's catmint. So I've got a nice row of catmint that should flow over that side of the border when they get a little bit bigger, and they'll really look good against those beautiful stones. And moving along here, we've got the hardy geraniums all sort of just about to burst into flower all the way along there. More Angelica, and hostas come up nicely there now. Some iris, which will flower in the next month. Lots of foxgloves getting ready to get themselves up and running and flower. More phlox all along there, lupins, some alliums, some normal flowering phlox, pink phlox there. They're beautiful in the midsummer. And then moving up here, still got some tulips going. Beautiful Queen of the Night tulips. They've been stunning, they have, for the last month. I can't remember what this is. I think it's some sort of pinks. And that's about to come into flower in the next couple of weeks. Looking really good. Lots of Aquilegia as well, just about to start coming into flower there. A group of them across there. I've got a river of lupins coming from all the way around there, all the way along the front there. They'll be looking good. More Angelica at the other end. Sorry, more Aqualesia at the other end there. Some beautiful alliums about to just come into flower. More lupins, daylilies. Got a beautiful peony there. Now that was a big peony for the last few years, but I split it up. So I've got one there, and I moved a bit, I think that's the same one, and then another one into the orchard as well. So I split it in three. Lots of black-eyed Susans there, all coming up. They're sort of late summer flowers. More daylilies. Cosmos I've put in. There's a rose I planted this year. And various other herbaceous perennials all along there. Phlox with the sort of the different coloured leaves there. So this is all looking really lush. Look at this Angelica. Big thick stems, and that'll grow up to 5-6 feet in the next few months. So this whole border looking really, really lush. Really pleased with it so far. And where there's a gap there, I'm about to put like another sort of wigwam like that one there. Going to put that there and have some sweet peas growing up across that to give some height in the border. So all more hardy geraniums around the front. A beautiful coloured hosta there. Look at that one, that's a lovely one, that one. The Angelicas. More hostas. And a lovely little, what was a dicentra, I can never remember what they call it again. Bleeding heart anyway, it's sort of a lady in the bath. Lovely, lovely little flower that is. More alliums coming. And this is that river of lupins that's going to grow all the way through the border, all the way to there. Some monarda, all looking absolutely lush and ready to sort of burst into flower. Beautiful. Here is the privet hedge, starting to look good, starting to fill out nicely, nice and green. I will have that about sort of head height eventually, but I'm pleased with that. Except for I dropped a pallet across these back two earlier on, and it's snapped them up a bit, so that's not particularly good. But the rest of it looking good. Let's have a look round here. I'm really pleased with how this is all coming on now. So into the orchard. And as you can see, more phlox here, and into the shady splendour, as my wife and boy call it. Another beautiful, stately looking Angelica there already. I can't remember what that's called. I took a piece of that out of a wall in Lunenburg, and look, it's come on nicely. More Angelica. Another beautiful little hosta. This Clematis is coming on strong, and that's going to have some beautiful flowers on it. I want it to get over there at some point. Hopefully it will do. And these lilies are looking really strong, nice and strong. No beetles on there yet, hopefully. And some phlox there, and a peony. Beautiful close slime bush Clematis, a herbaceous type of Clematis. Lovely dark leaves there, absolutely stunning. And this was my favourite apple tree of last year. Well, it's got to be, because it was the only one that flowered, but it had about 20 odd apples, beautiful tasting apples. Sweet 16, looking good. More Aqualesia, and this bed is starting to look good. All the apple trees are in flower this year, and I've planted various different herbaceous plants. There's some biennial foxgloves. They're looking small, but they'll fill out, and I've got various other little seedlings all around of different types. There's another nice lupin there. Lupins love it here. Still not getting anywhere with the pond yet, but this border's looking really good now. These phlox, more angelica, phlox, angelica, a poppy there, some centaurea, all sorts of stuff, looking really good. Really pleased with that. And then moving along this way here, my step over apples, not flowered, I don't think, no. Still looking good, still pleased with that. That one's only a small one. I need to move on with the getting some chippings down on the pathways. But these lupins are looking massive. That one there, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lupins. I've got sunflowers all in here. That apple tree's in flower as well, looking good. And look at this. Can't claim this being me. I'll just let it grow. Absolutely beautiful. But very pleased with this area, starting to come on nicely. Let's move on. As usual, nothing much going on at this part of the garden, so let's move on to my new addition. Actually, as we move around this rhododendron, you see this is, I think this is rather beautiful, the way I'll just let this creeping phlox do what it wants to do. And it's just starting to colonise all over the sort of, I'll call it a lawn, the front garden bit. And obviously here it's all over this front area. Looking beautiful all along here. And we've got various other herbaceous perennials again, the grasses, poppy, all sorts of other different bits and bobs on the front here, but obviously the phlox, the creeping phlox, are the stars of the show at this time of year. Here's my new addition to the flower border. Obviously I just made this, and you can see the link to the first of the videos of making this raised bed. Looking really good. So I've got some hostas in there, a cosmos. At the front here I've got these creeping phlox, and they're not looking much at the moment, but they'll soon come on like all the other ones have. Love the colour of that one, look at that, stunning. Some more hardy geraniums there, and these will all fill out. Some foxgloves, hostas. Yeah, I'm really pleased with this. Looking really good, and what was a scruffy area, looking very nice. So let's look onwards on an area I'm particularly pleased about. The last of the flower areas. So obviously here are the veg areas. I'm not sure if I'm going to have time for these in this video. I might have to make a separate video on these, on the veg area. But the last of the flower areas, and this has been particularly beautiful with the creeping phlox. Now, that's my side door, and I come out here every single morning, first thing in the morning before work, and then I look to my left, and this opens up to me, and it really has been absolutely beautiful. The phlox has been so nice, and this hot pink one again, been absolute stunner. As you can see, it's going over now. Unfortunately, you're not seeing that its full magnificence, but looking really beautiful all the way along here, and everything else. You know, the poppies are starting to come up now again. The peony, more poppies, the Aquilegia, alliums, the honeysuckle growing there. This big, beautiful Angenica and a lupin, looking lovely with the water droplets on there. And I've got sunflowers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they'll dominate, hopefully, this fence over the next few months. Nice iris there, which should send up some nice yellow flowers in the next few weeks. Clematis here. This is the first time this has grown properly, so that's really pleasing. Need to tie that in actually. And here in the corner, actually, oh, grapevine. I thought I might as well I had a grapevine going spare, so I thought I might as well use it to fill up this whole fence. Here is a pretty little creeping phlox. I only got that last year. Lovely bi-colour one. Really pleased with that. Aquilegia just about to come into flower, and there we are. There's that border, looking for, what is that, 3 years old, possibly 2 years old. No, I think this is 3 years old now. Really pleased with this border, the way it's filled out nicely. And there we go, back to the start. So I hope you'll agree that the various different flower borders here in my garden are starting to look really good. Some of these are, are really quite new. This one on the side of me here, I literally just built that last winter. These are about 4 or 5 years old now in different degrees. I've extended them. I forgot to mention the archway sort of came down, rotted away a bit, and all I've got is that little post at the end with the honeysuckle on there. But different degrees, and the orchard. How old is the orchard now? 3 years old, and that's starting to really sort of come in at the different areas, looking really good. Really pleased with that. So, and the creeping phlox, I had to show you this time of year. I didn't want to leave it until later on in June because it's been so beautiful, and everything else now. So the next one, hopefully everything will be in flower, and you'll be even more impressed. And then I can definitely say jobs are good.